Hey guys, what's up? Riley, and today's video is a update to my last video actually, where I spoke about bottom surgery and that I was going for my first opinion for bottom surgery. I've been to my appointment, I had my BMI checked. They showed me lots and lots of images about the process and different types of surgery which is done here in the UK. Going through all that and kind of like how the waiting list is at the moment. A clinic had stopped doing all surgeries, like all bottom surgeries during COVID. Then they didn't renew their contract with the NHS, which meant there was no one actually able to do bottom surgery here in the UK. I don't have all of like the answers for all of that. Most people that are watching my videos are either just come out as trans or they're going through the same process as me. But I try and give you as much information as possible. But I don't want to give you the wrong information, which is why I don't really expand too much on some things. But I try and tell you what I know without giving false information out, because a lot of people can spread lies and false information is actually very harmful to give out. Yeah, so I had this appointment. The doctor that I had, well, is a psychiatrist, but he was talking me through everything in regards to like metoidioplasty and phalloplasty. So I know I don't want metoidioplasty, and I kind of have a different vision in mind, if that makes any sense, compared to what metoidioplasty offers for me. I'm not saying anyone that gets metoidioplasty, it's not a good decision. That's not what I'm saying. I think the results from metoidioplasty are amazing. They're just not what I want personally. I kind of want phalloplasty for a variety of reasons, and I thought I'd talk about that in this video of why I would choose phalloplasty over metoidioplasty. So for me, metoidioplasty, it would actually probably make me more dysphoric having metoidioplasty. Just don't really personally want that, and it's not, I don't want to offend anyone that's had metoidioplasty or anything like that, because honestly, it is amazing what we can do nowadays, like in the medical field. And I think it's important to know that other people have different expectations compared to others, and other people have it more for functionality or for dysphoria, and there's lots of different reasons why you would choose metoidioplasty or phalloplasty. And I think there's a lot of pros and cons to either. There's a lot more pros, honestly, for metoidioplasty than there is cons, and there's a lot of cons compared to pros for phalloplasty. However, what I'm looking at is I want to have the functionality of an actual penis, and that is what I'm looking for with bottom surgery. But obviously with top surgery being done, and the option of bottom surgery now, and to be put on a waiting list, this is why I'm doing is because I know I can change my mind if I want to, but it's like 10 years away at least. It could be 8 to 10 years you're looking out for like the first stage of surgery. In 2031 maybe I'll have some kind of bottom surgery, but we don't know yet, especially with how things are, the terms of the training and stuff for the surgeons that are now going to be taken over. But they seem like a great team, and they're trying to reduce the wait times. They're trying to get to the people that need to be seen first, that are still stuck between first stage and second stage for phalloplasty. So that's really good that they are prioritizing that, and I think that's important to think about, not be like, oh, the times are so long. They are, and I understand a lot of people are very dysphoric, and they really like, it's a life-changing surgery, and it can really make a difference to someone's life, and a life-saving surgery too. But we have to also be patient, because there's a lot of other people that have already had their first stage and they're waiting on their second stage and have had some complications because it's been so long, because of COVID and those kind of things. And I think people need to take that into account. So I'm choosing phalloplasty because either way, it's forearm phalloplasty. I tried my hardest to not get tattoos on the arm they were going to take my skin graft from. But younger Riley, before I even come out as trans, decided to get a tattoo all the way down his arm. Thinking, you know what, I've got my other arm. Hence why I've never tattooed this arm, right? I've never got a tattoo on this part of my arm on my right side. But little did I know that they take it from your less dominant arm, which I should have seen coming. Should have definitely seen coming. Because, you know, it restricts blood flow and you're having some veins taken out and all this kind of stuff. But when I first came out as trans, bottom surgery isn't that talked about within the community. It's more top surgery as a trans guy. We don't really talk about bottom surgery until very later on within our transitions. And I mean, when I came out, there wasn't that much information on it either, and there still isn't really nowadays on bottom surgery, which is kind of crazy. I want any young trans person now that might have just come out, or, you know, you're not old enough to get tattoos, do not get your arm tattooed, your less dominant arm. So if you're right-handed, don't get your left arm tattooed, and if you're right-handed, don't get your left hand. So your least dominant arm is where they're going to take the graft from if it's viable. And this is the thing, you won't know until you go to your surgeon and they do all these tests first. You have to be tested, you have to be checked that you've got the correct veins to do that. So that's what, and there's a lot of different things that like come into account when it comes to bottom surgery. You know, I get very awkward talking about like penis talk and stuff because, to be honest, I never knew what I kind of wanted until like a couple of years ago, and like now getting out and exploring with like sexuality and sex in general at the ripe old age of 25, I haven't really done that much in the sense of exploring because I was too busy worrying about transitioning before I did a lot of that. So, you know, I'm going through my teenage phase where I'm like trying new things, all this kind of stuff, which a lot of people still don't talk about, because a lot of people are very comfortable and they go off and do these things. But for me, I kind of held off on that for a long time. As you know, I haven't been in a relationship in like the past 5 years. And when I had my first relationship, that was like a good, 8 years ago when I first came out as trans. So I was still learning the ropes then. Then had a 5-year break. I got into a relationship at the start of this year and that's ended now too. So that's always an update for you after I just announced it. But you know what? It is what it is. Yeah, so I haven't really got to explore that, but I also, in the previous, like the most recent relationship for me, realised I wanted to do things, but I physically can't do those things. And I think that was the big eye-opener for me, where it was more like, I really want to do this, but I can't physically do that because I don't have what you need, or what I would need in that situation. Sorry if any of my family or anyone else that knows me personally is watching this. But like, you use toys and this kind of stuff during sex, and it's like there's certain things that work and there's certain things that don't. And for me, like, I've tried a lot of different things and I found one thing that works for me, and it worked for my partner at the time as well. It worked, but it just didn't feel like, I wasn't getting, and like I was getting pleasure from it, but not the way that I would want to. Yeah, so bottom surgery is like a big deal nowadays, to me, because I'm looking to find that freeing kind of moment for me. There's a lot to go through. It's 3 stages which they're trying to fit into 2. It's a lot of work and a lot of scar and a lot of time where I'm going to be down. I'm not going to be able to do anything, and I think now is more important than ever to 1, get my driver's license, 2, to move out on my own, 3, to kind of just live my life until this moment. It's not anytime soon, and we're looking in the furthest part of the future I can think about at this point. When I'm about 33, I might have first stage bottom surgery. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I won't want it. I don't know. But right now, that's what I want. But yeah, I am going to end the video here because I feel like I'm just chatting. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon when I have my second appointment.